Good afternoon, I'm Morgan Drew, and we're here again with your late night special. Today we'll be talking to Robert Johnson, international relations expert. We'll be discussing the mass migration of the Islamic religion into European countries. So let's take a closer look. So now we're here with Mr. Robert Johnson. He's the international relations expert, and he's going to give us a brief description of what we'll be discussing today so that we can get a summary to get a further look.
Thank you, Morgan. I'd like to first off by saying thank you for letting me come on the show. It's very nice of you to let me start. What we will be talking about today is the mass migration of Islamic religion into European countries. But before we first start off with that, I'd like to give you a little history of Islam to give you a better feel of what we're going to be talking about. The history of Islam and the Islamic religion. The Islamic religion started with the city and state period around 620 and 630 CE. Now, where they started was known as the Arabian Plate. The Arabian Plate is located on the eastern hemisphere of our globe, more so the Middle East. But in technical terms, the Arabian Plate is now known as Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia has two cities that are very detrimental to Islamic religion, and they are the Mecca and the Medina. Now I'm going to show you where the majority of Islamic religion has moved throughout the world today. As I stated earlier, Islamic religion began in Saudi Arabia and is widely spread throughout the years. It is the majority religion taught in most northern Africa countries, including Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Chad, and northern Sudan. It has also moved as far west as Indonesia, where the most percentage of Muslims live now, and is highly taught in India and Bangladesh as well. It has moved as far north as Kazakhstan, including Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Iran, and is also the majority religion in Turkey.
Wow, Robert, that was really informational. Can you please just give us a little more about where this is going and exactly when did it start?
Now that you have an overview of Islamic religion around the world, I will go into more detail about the mass immigration of Islamic religion into European countries. Many experts believe that the mass immigration happened after World War II. Many European countries implemented guest worker programs that allowed immigrants to come into Europe to rebuild the nation. These programs were only supposed to be for a temporary amount of time that the immigrants would stay there, but turned out to be that they lasted to be permanent. Now, that might have not been the start of Islamic religion into European countries, but it definitely fueled the fire. Muslims constitute for the majority of immigrants coming into European countries, and some experts say that by the year 2025, the Muslim population will double in those European countries.
Now, has this had any effects on the European countries?
Now, this immigration policy has had a lot of negative factors as well. It also has cost countries a lot of money, almost to the point, close to the point of the country becoming bankrupt. Another problems have occurred because of this mass immigration, but could be very negative towards the Muslim religion if I got into them.
Wow, so how has this affected the European countries, Robert?
Well, like I said, Morgan, it affects the European countries in their financials because having all of these immigrants come in and being on welfare would hurt the government. It also has led to these countries having stricter immigration laws to become a citizen in that country.
Well, thank you, Mr. Johnson, for your time here. We have learned so much about the European countries and all the migration that's going on to get to there. So thank you again for being with us today, and we look forward to seeing you in the future when you stop by the show again.
Morgan, and thank you for letting me come on. It's been fun.
Thanks. You guys have a great night. This has been the Late Night News Edition with Morgan Drew.